We got the trigonometry blokes back with another one. Let's take a look at this clip on Twitter. I'm Tala Traveling Clat, your favorite white colonizing prince. Here we are, Konstantin, Kissinger, and Piers.
You've used the phrase indiscriminate bombing repeatedly. Why do you say it's indiscriminate?
Well, I'll give you an example. Say they get information there's one Hamas terrorist. Well, I saw Dave Smith use this analogy, so let me give him the credit for it. If somebody murdered one of your family, okay? Horrible hypothetical, but let's assume this has happened. And you get told that one of the people who was responsible is living in a tower block with 150 people in it. Do you think it's justified to go and blow up the whole tower block and kill 149 innocent people as you kill the one person who is responsible for the loss you suffered?
There's a calculation in the laws of war where there has got to be some proportionality. There's got to be some taken of account.
Do you think there's been any proportionality now in Israel's response?
Well,
I mean, 1,200 people got killed.
What I'm asking you
over the 7th. We're now up to maybe as many as 100,000.
But Piers, with all respect, that's a terrible argument. Because,
is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
That's a terrible argument.
I don't think it is.
It is, because way more Germans were killed at the end of World War II than British people were killed, and yet we bombed Germany into the ground because we were defeating them, right? I think that is a terrible argument, but I'm trying to find out why you say it's indiscriminate. Indiscriminate means they don't care if they're just bombing a civilian building, they're just trying to flatten Gaza. That's what you think is happening?
70% of Gaza has been flattened.
Yes.
In what way would you not think that suggests a degree of indiscriminate bombing?
The reason that people would challenge the idea of it being indiscriminate, for example, Andrew Fox, as I mentioned, who has a very nuanced view of this, as we found out, he was saying that when he was in Gaza, what he saw was that Hamas adapted their tactics as the war went on, and when they realized that the Israeli IDF was going house to house, they then did the evacuation themselves. They pulled the civilians out and then booby-trapped every single building. So the destruction of a lot of buildings is evidence of the fact that a lot of them are booby-trapped, and that's why they're being destroyed.
I'm sure some of them were.
He made the point that more bombs have been dropped on Gaza than the number of people who've been killed in Gaza, which kind of tells you that it's his argument, not indiscriminate. So that's the only reason I'm asking, and I'm genuinely just wondering.
I read some of the 5-6 times as many bombs have been dropped in totality than the total power of the 2 nuclear bombs dropped in Japan. I mean, you know, what is indiscriminate? To me, you can argue that indiscriminate means you don't care at all. I wouldn't go as far as that.
Okay.
But I would say that the way they have gone about targeting sometimes individual members of Hamas that they believe are in a cafe, and they just blow the whole cafe to pieces, that shows in my opinion, a reckless disregard for civilian life that is around that one person. And again, I come back to the Hezbollah thing. Why is it that they can target Hezbollah and dismantle Hezbollah in such a brilliantly sophisticated surgical strike manner, which does not involve destroying Lebanon or wiping out 100,000 Lebanese people, you know, killing 20,000 Lebanese children? Why is it they're capable of that there, but they're completely incapable of any other war strategy here, when most people believe, who know Hamas, that this was all part of Hamas's plan, that they knew when they did what they did, this is what would happen?
The argument would be, and by the way, I have family who come from Lebanon, is that Hezbollah are concentrated in one particular part of Lebanon. They're not concentrated.
Well, Israel didn't blow it up.
But if you look at Gaza, it's very, very densely populated, and Hamas are physically embedded within that. They have consciously embedded themselves, as we all know, within the civilians. So it's almost impossible to be able to target them.
But if Hamas is showing such a spectacular disregard for its own civilian life, then I would argue that you should always, if you're in Israel's position as the only democracy in the region, and you've got the biggest military in the region, it's even more incumbent on you not to be as reckless with civilian life as the people that you're going after.
Why? Why? I don't understand. Why? Why? Is it because you're racist, Piers? I'm being genuine. Why? Why hold this group of Middle Eastern people to a standard so much higher than this group of Middle Eastern people? I'm not European. I'm a Hooga Booga cave person. My family comes from the Middle East for thousands of years. If someone comes into my border, rapes my family, kills my people, and takes them hostage, you're gonna get fucked. Sorry. You're gonna get fucked. That's the reality. You don't like it, go find a different region to colonize. Your ancestors colonized this place. Y'all fucked off without any regard. You left us in shambles and in pieces to pick up your mess. And now you have complaints about how we execute a war. You understand if it was any other Middle Eastern nation, there wouldn't be a Palestinian people anymore. And yes, that is something to be proud of. Don't give me the... That's not something to be proud of. You shouldn't... No, that is something to be proud of. I'm proud that the Palestinian population in Gaza is increasing. Since October 7th, they've maintained a positive birth rate of tens of thousands of children. Since October 7th. Still till today. I am proud that since 1948, the Palestinian population has increased 10x plus. From around 300,000 people to 6 million. I'm proud of that. But we don't owe them shit. We do not owe the people who have sworn vengeance and sworn to murder us and sworn to kill us in every place that they can. We don't owe them anything. Literally nothing. We don't owe these people anything. Anything we do for them in a positive manner is literally just a net benefit to their life. We don't owe them any of this. I think from a religious perspective, we have a duty to protect all ethnic minorities that want to coexist with us and make them feel empowered. But they don't want to coexist with us. They have established themselves as an enemy in our land and on our borders. So we don't owe them anything. Not even by international law. You have to twist the words to fit the narratives that you try to put onto us. You really do. And the final example that... The thing that drives me crazy about Piers is like, well, how come they can be so indiscriminate in Gaza, but in Lebanon and in Syria and in Iran, they can strike pinpoint accuracy? Do you understand the fucking Gaza Strip, you asshole? Have you looked at a map, you idiot? Why are you so hell-bent on being retarded, Piers? I don't understand. Is it because of your old age? You're just fucking losing brain cells faster than you realize what's coming out of your mouth? I really don't understand. Have you looked at a map of Gaza and then a map of southern Lebanon and then of Syria and then of Iran? You have large, massive... I can't believe I'm explaining this. I feel like this is insane that I'm even explaining this. You have massive, large swaths of land and then a tiny strip. In one, the terrorists hide, not always in between civilians because there's a lot of space. And in the other, the terrorists and the civilians are blended into one. You can't even tell 99% of the time who's a terrorist and who's a civilian until they take an action. And even then, a lot of times the civilians support the terrorists. So they kind of cross a blurred line of being a terrorist in cahoots. And the fact that Piers is unwilling to look at the nuance of that and unwilling to bring on anybody on his show to explain the nuance of that is shameful. And he's a shameful person. And he blocked me on Twitter because he's a pussy-ass bitch. I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you a long time. Goodbye, class. If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way to support my channel. And you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclat.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat, or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.